Now going over to question 19, we always start with the prompt, and here the prompt is telling us that this is a grammar question. In particular, it's a question about joining two independent clauses. You have two things that could each be their own sentence. So, the Alvarez theory, developed in this year by this physicist and his son, maintained that the secondary effects of an asteroid impact caused many dinosaurs and other animals to die, but it left unexplored the question of whether unrelated volcanic activity might have also contributed to the mass extinctions. So, really quick, we can talk for a moment about how we have a clause defined by having a subject and a verb. So while a clause has a subject and a verb, for instance, John jumped, or the dependent clause, since John jumped, the modifier, on the other hand, is missing the subject, the verb, or both. So while jumping, ing words are not verbs, and there's no mention of John or he in that part of the sentence. So same thing here, or here, twisting his ankle, ing words are not verbs, so there's definitely no verb there, or no mention of John or he in that part of the sentence. So that's important here, because we need to be able to see the modifiers. This part here is a modifier. It's a little extra information about the Alvarez theory. But the subject-verb combination is the idea that this theory maintained something. That's what makes this a clause, something that could be its own sentence if it wanted to. So this theory maintained that the effects of an asteroid caused the dinosaurs and other animals to die. So in purple there, we have an independent clause, slightly interrupted by the modifier, but that's okay. And what do we have in blue here? Another independent clause. It left unexplored a question. So it can be a subject. By the way, a lot of people don't want to consider pronouns like it as the subject of a sentence because they seem very incomplete. But to say, my dog jumped is no different than saying it jumped. They're both subject-verb combinations. So the it left, that's the part that makes all of this its own independent clause. It left unexplored the question of whether activity might have contributed to the mass extinctions. So the point here is that the purple part and the blue part each could be their own sentence because they're independent clauses. And there are two correct ways to join two independent clauses. You can use a semicolon, John jumped, semicolon, he fell, or a comma fanboys, John jumped, comma, and he fell. If you join them just with a fanboys, that's an error called a fused sentence. Just a comma, that's an error called a comma splice, and nothing at all in between the two pieces, that's what a run-on sentence is. So we have to pick the answer that joins these two independent clauses correctly with either a semicolon or a comma fanboys. Now, what's a fanboys, by the way? For people who don't know, those are the words for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. Those types of conjunctions are more pronounced than others, and they can be used for the special purpose of joining two independent clauses. So which answer gives us these two independent clauses joined with the comma fanboys? That's answer choice B, comma, but. Now, by the way, answer choice C, that's our run-on sentence. Answer choice D, that's our comma splice. And answer choice A, that's our fused sentence. So if you really want to be good at grammar, you should know these three names, because if you can name those errors, you're less likely to pick them thinking that they're an answer choice. But the answer here is B.